Hello, everybody. It is great to be here one more time today. And my name is Gary Fowler, and I'm the CEO, President, and founder of GSD Get You Done Venture Studios, a premier AI and quantum venture studio located in Palo Alto, California. I'm a serial entrepreneur with 17 startups under my belt. Been involved in several unicorns. I was on the original management team of Click Software, which was sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion. Yes, $1.35 billion, and also Eva.ai, an AI HR tech company. We believe at GSD that intellectual capacity is evenly spread around the world, but opportunities are not. We focus on several areas: artificial intelligence, unsupervised, semi supervised, quantum computing, and the metaverse Web3. We believe that everybody needs a chance to be able to get their voice heard, and also with the amount of infobesity and data around the planet to help understand it. So, with that, I'd like to bring my incredible guest in who's got one powerful story. Amos there's an MD, he's a neurosurgeon, and he says that each generation is charged with the task of leaving the world a better place for the next. There comes a time in our lives when we must carry this change in our own special ways and tapping into our unique capabilities. I believe we can each make a difference in our communities. Wow, what a powerful thing. So he's a neurosurgeon, went to Yale University for his medical degree, and also Knox College for his degree in chemistry. And he's originally from Africa. With that, I'd like to bring the doctor in.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, no problem. So tell us a little bit about, so what was the journey like? You grew up in Africa. So were you from Ghana, Nigeria? Where were you from originally?
So I grew up in Togo primarily. My parents are from Ghana and Nigeria, but my upbringing was in Togo, which was French speaking, up until I was 18 when I came to the United States.
So how did you get to the U.S.? What happened? Did you take a SAT test and score perfectly, or how did you do that?
Well, I did take the SAT. I can't say I scored perfect, but there are other things that allowed me to get a scholarship, academic scholarship, to come to a college in the Midwest. That was the breakthrough for me.
And where's Knox College located?
Knox College is in Galesburg, a small town in Illinois, just south of Chicago. A liberal arts college that had a focus for international student admissions.
Now, how was that when so you're coming from Togo and you're coming to Knox College? Was there any culture shock?
Are you kidding? There was a big cultural shock. Everything from the food to the people, the interactions, the weather. Yes, there was.
What was a big difference? So, like, if you could say one thing that you would shock besides freezing, what was
besides freezing, I was incredibly affected by how open people were, and this is truly a very open society, a culture of mixed background, ethnicity, and I felt that I will do just fine. And I was expecting something else. I was expecting not being welcomed and feeling ostracized. And I was very fortunate to actually be in that environment. And I think that was a really good place for me to start at that particular college.
Now, did they have fraternities and everything there?
They had everything. They had everything.
And did you go to fraternity parties? And did you go to those parties?
I had every bit of the experience you need to have in college during those 4 years. Again, learning slowly but surely. But it was a very good experience for me.
That's great. And so, when did you decide? I know you studied chemistry. When did you decide you wanted to be a doctor?
Well, I had a very sickly childhood. I was at the hospital almost every week. I suffered from malaria, and
did you have quinine? Did they have quinine? Was that the cure?
Yeah, quinine. I had all the prophylactics I needed, but my particular blood type was prone to getting malaria. The mosquitoes just love my blood type. And so I had a very sickly childhood. And when I arrived to the States, we did not have that sort of mosquito problem and malaria problem. So I got stronger, actually. I got healthier. And I remembered going to the hospital and going through the front entrance of the hospital. And for me, that was different. I went to volunteer, actually, at the hospital because I was used to going through the back door, emergency door, on a stretcher. So that was a very powerful experience for me. It's like having power over disease. It was so empowering. I wanted to have that feeling all the time. So I naturally wanted to learn how to fight disease, how to prevent disease. And I went to the hospital as often as I could just to learn this and found mentors. And eventually,
You went to the hospital, but not as a patient.
not as a not as a patient.
I was going to say, if you go to the hospital as much as you can, that's not a good thing.
No, to look at things from the other side. And I think one other factor was I love the biological sciences. I love chemistry, biology, and putting that into use so far as helping other people was very important to me.
And then, so, I mean, how do you get in Yale? Now, what's the secret sauce? Because that's one of the top tier schools. So now, how did that happen? Did you just one day say, I'm going to go to Yale because I like New Haven and Skull and Bones, or what happened?
I just put on a nice smile. I walked in there and oh, we like whoever is coming here smiling, we want to admit. So
I must have done something wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that. So I think getting some good grades helped for sure. And I told my story. And Yale is one of those places where they admit folks that are just self-motivated, self-driven, because they're not going to teach you that at Yale. Okay, Yale already, pre-selects those people who are quote unquote overachievers, and they're just self-driven, and that's one of the key criteria for going to those type of schools, because once you're in that environment, they give you all the resources to change the world, and that's the criteria, really.
Well, that's great. So what do you mean, like resources? Give me an example. What kind of resources?
Well, you are sitting at in the cafeteria with Nobel Prize winners and laureates, and talking over a sandwich and exchanging ideas. You have grants to pursue projects. There's just mentorship. There's just resources. You have some of the top labs, some of the top everything is there that you need to succeed. If you go to Yale and fail, you have a problem.
Wow, that's great. And so you enjoyed it.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
how was the and what were the students like? What's students' life? What do you do for fun in Yale?
Well, there are a lot of extracurricular activities. And I will confess that I stayed there longer than I was supposed to. My program was a 4-year program, medical program. I stayed 2 extra years to do research. And part of that was because, there's a lot of other things to do, whether travel abroad, there are any type of sports you want to get into, there are clubs you can get into. There's always something going on. You can find something outside just studying all day to get involved with, whether it's just volunteering or there's always something. There's always something going on.
And what'd you do for fun?
I was a soccer player. So I played on the soccer team. And
now, this was
that
an
was
official Yale soccer team, or was this the after
yeah, A little bit of both, a little bit extracurricular activity, and a little bit of playing and coaching in soccer at Yale. I enjoyed that very much. I picked up golf, but it wasn't my thing because it took 4 hours to play a game, and I didn't have 4 hours,
Yeah, no,
maybe once a
I mean,
month.
I gotta tell you, I played at some of the greatest courses, and I suck. And it's really, for me, it was just really boring, just walking around chasing a ball. I started to think about it. You know, at least tennis, you move around more, but one with a
Yeah,
golf club,
absolutely,
really
absolutely.
slow, right?
I mean, there was a lot to do outdoors, biking. I picked up mountain biking. It's one of those places where you just outside the city. There's just um, great outdoor sports that you can do. You can get out fishing. You can get out to Rhode Island. You can have access to New York City if you wanted to spend the weekend there and get away from everything. It's I Connecticut as a state in general offers a lot besides
No,
Yale.
so you did that, and then how do you decide to be a neurosurgeon? What happens? Like you're in class, and one day you say, "Oh, I like the trigeminal nerves," or what? How
Uh,
did you get into that? What happened?
That's a good question. I recall I wanted to do something in medicine because I had that inflection point somewhere around my second year. It was all books, 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 and I said, I don't want to live the rest of my life just studying books. I need something in medicine that was going to be captivating, that was going to be engaging, that will keep me going and I'll never be bored. So I went to see an open heart surgery, and I saw the heart, and I thought it was going to be the great revelation. Wasn't so excited. So I went to see a brain surgery, and that was it. I said, this is what I want to do.
Really? You said, "Oh, I just love it. The corpus callosum and the cerebrum and all." And then,
I
when you
mean, that is the seat of the soul.
now
That is.
when you do your first surgery, though, Amos, when you had the first one, were you scared? Like when you did your first one, and you go from a student to actually, you're assisting a doctor. Was it scary, or did you just say, "Oh, this is what I want to do"?
Um, for me, it was not scary. It was more excitement. The operating room provides a very controlled, and for me, a very comfortable environment. You know, um, you don't want to do any of this in your garage or anywhere where it's you're not.
No. For all your all the viewers out there, remember, don't do this in your garage.
Garage. So for me, it was very exciting. It was exciting to finally be able to have a control setting where we can address a problem surgically. Being able to enter the human body and especially the brain, it's really a privilege. And I compare it to the invention of airplanes or in the first flight and things like that, where the ability to have the body in a control setting with anesthesia, blood pressure, and all the vitals, and be able to enter the body and fix something and get out and have that patient wake up. To me, it's a privilege, and it's very empowering to humans to be able to do that. I think that's one skill that we were provided to really continue to perpetuate our health and our existence.
Wow, that's great. And do you get nervous when you're doing surgery? Like when you have a difficult, or you just do it and that's it? I mean, do you ever get like, boy, this is a tough one?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of surgeons will share this with me, but when you get into that mode, when you're a surgeon and you get into that mode, it's like playing computer games. It's like, this is what you're trained to do, and you're going to beat the computer. it's a different mentality. It's a different state of mind. You're nervous when you are just looking on over somebody's shoulder and you hope they do the right thing. But when you're in there doing it yourself, you plug in and you do what you have to do.
Now, how much has medicine changed over the last, 18 years since you've been doing medicine? How's it changed?
Oh, medicine has changed a lot in terms of um, just different levels. And we're here today because of technology, and looking at it from a technology point of view, our access to patients and patient data and our diagnostic tools have improved a lot. Um, Treatment, incredible, and the ability to process all this information, right? It's tremendous. We're collecting data almost every second. I mean, there are other things, in terms of the medical system itself, the delivery of care, and that has evolved over time. But we were limited to mostly the technology that we have now to be able to do surgery, robotics. There's a lot. Our ability to do genetic mapping is just incredible.
So, this is really a segue. So tell us, why did you start MedMatch? What happened? Did you have a revelation one day? How did the company come about?
Yeah, so MedMatch Network has really been a labor of love for me. And it came about as a result of some of the frustrations that I have practicing medicine, both academically and privately. And this has to do with being able to refer patients or provide patients care by referring them to another provider or for tests, etc. And I realized that we're still using a lot of the old technology like fax and telephone to coordinate all this. And
why did doctors use faxes? I can't understand that, because I couldn't even find a fax to send a fax. You know what I mean? They wanted me to send a fax. I'm like, what? Why do they use faxes? Is it just like because of they like legacy systems, or what?
Well, the fax has been around for a long time, and it's been adopted, and it's actually made its way into the computer. So there's something called e-fax now, which is the same thing. You still have to go in there and find those digital copies. But what the problem it caused was I had a patient actually die before getting to me, because the patient just couldn't get through all the referral protocol that existed. And I will have patients come back 3-4 weeks later. I order a test. They never had the test. I asked them to see another doctor. They never saw the doctor. When you ask them, they said, nobody called me, or nobody authorized my insurance, or I couldn't find a doctor. So that was the problem that I faced. And I faced that even with a loved one, even as a physician trying to call another doctor's office. I don't get the preferred line. I get line number 6. If you're a patient, hit 6. If you're a provider, hit 1. So MedMatch came as a result of that, because I realized there is technology that we can definitely use to improve the system. And bringing on that technology together with current legislation is how MedMatch came about.
Now, so being a neurosurgeon, do you get to a point where you say, I want to try something else in my life? I've done the neurosurgery. I like it. Is it like a new adventure, like an Indiana Jones things for you? What is it?
Well, there comes a point in your life where you look around and you say, I am uniquely positioned to make a difference. Okay. So as a neurosurgeon, I have in different situations where I was the only man, left to save a life. And in my journey, I have, saved countless amount of patients. But when I
Well, how does
realized
it
the big
feel?
problem,
Amos, how does it feel when you save somebody's life? Like, do you feel something? Is it like endorphins and a Kefalon kick in, or what happens?
no, it's very rewarding. I was just out with a friend, and a patient came to me. I was sitting in a restaurant, and the patient said, "Did I hear you say your name is Amos?" And I said, "Yes." And the patient said, "You saved my life." And this was, I didn't even remember the patient. This was 10 years ago. And I had that same feeling. Like I have improved somebody's life. I have made somebody's life better. It's very rewarding to feel like you've done something that has changed somebody's life for the better. It's just what, I think our community should be. We should help each other, and with the gifts that we have. And that's another thing. It's, I'm in a unique position to be able to help that person, and that person may be in a unique position to help me in a different way. So the gifts that we're giving and the talents that we have, should definitely contribute it to our society, to our community, to make the world a better place.
God, I understand. I feel like I was almost there. I understand it. So MedMatch, what's the state of the company today? Where are you?
So MedMatch is a cloud-based platform of medical providers, ancillary services, and we're now connecting to the patients. We're building an integrated platform that communicates all players, all providers, doctors, so that they can seamlessly exchange data, information, automate scheduling, and all that. If you've ever had to go to a provider, look for a provider, schedule a provider, you know exactly the problems that our system pose at this time. MedMatch launched its platform a little over a year ago. We have provider enrollment actively going on. We just started our ancillary service provider enrollment, which means MRI companies, home healthcare companies are enrolling. Our patient facing application is under beta testing right now, and we are continuing to scale. We have very good feedback, and we need support. We need financial support to be able to grow quicker and faster and achieve our vision and our mission goals.
Are you raising money at this point?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are raising money. Up until now, we've been very fortunate to have the founders chip in and create the platform. But to really get it scale and get it to a platform where it will reach to all the doctors, all the patients that need to get access to this, we are going to need some external funding and help, and other things as well to really.
Now, is this a pre-seed round, a seed round, or what kind of a round are you?
So this will be a seed round, or we are pre-seed, so this will be a seed round of investment.
So seed round. Okay, super. And how many people do you have on your team?
My core team is about 12. It's my core team is about 12 people, and I'm counting the management team as well as the developers. But we work with up to 30 or more people who provide some consulting, some advice, as well as a little bit of freelance work. We are global. We have folks working from every corner of the world, trying to make this dream come true.
No, that's super. Well, listen, we're coming to the top of the hour. Closing thoughts, and how do people get a hold of you?
Yes. Again, my name is Amos Dare. To get a hold of me, my email is adare@medmatchnetwork.com, and you can also find me on LinkedIn. Just type in my name, Amos Dare, MD, and link up on LinkedIn, and I'll be in touch.
That sounds great. Well, I want to thank you, Amos, for taking time out of your busy schedule to join the show today. And I want to thank all my audience for joining one more time for GSD Presents Silicon Valley AI and Tech. And I'm your host, Gary Fowler. Stay tuned next week for another exciting edition on Tuesday. Take care of yourself. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Thanks, Amos. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.